to be able to see the people that are managing these stores, to be able to hear their stories from them in their own voices, it is a visual story to be told.
Welcome to another episode of the Finally podcast. I'm Dan Fisher, and today I'm here with Sarah Shapanis, Executive Director of the Illinois Retail Merchant Association Foundation. Welcome, Sarah.
Hi, Dan. Thank you.
Sarah, let's start off easy. Tell us about IRMA's mission and your role with the organization and how you fit into that mission.
Sure. The Illinois Retail Merchants Association is a nonprofit organization that advocates for retail at the state level. We represent all retailers, big and small, and speak on their behalf to Illinois legislators when bills are proposed or anything really that could impact retail. So, as the executive director of the foundation, I oversee the research, promotional, and educational arm. For example, in the research area, we had a study conducted recently that looked at the economic impact that retail has in Illinois. And what we found was that retail is Illinois' largest employer. We also found that it's the largest economic revenue generator for local economies and the second largest revenue generator for the state itself. So it's huge in Illinois, and that's people don't really maybe understand how big it is. And so that's the part of the research that we've done. Educationally, we are always trying to tell our members or even non-members just about what retail is, the role it plays, be a resource for retailers. And then promotionally, we've been doing a big project in the last year, as you know, called We Are Retail.
Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit. So, we were lucky enough to start working with you last year on the We Are Retail campaign. It was a very, very aggressive campaign to uh, bring awareness to the importance of retail. Talk to me about how that came about, how it's going, and where it's going.
So it came about as a project that was done in cooperation with Governor Pritzker and legislative leaders in an effort to highlight the importance of small independent retail in Illinois. As I just mentioned, there's the role retail plays in Illinois is huge, but we wanted to give people a chance to see the faces and hear the voices and see the stores that are impacting our communities on a daily basis. It's a project to show videos about independent retail businesses all throughout the state. And then we also created blogs to go with that project. And we have put all of this work on a website we created called weareillinoisretail.com. And then, as you know, we have advertised those videos on all kinds of social media. And we're getting the word out about the campaign, about these stores, about the retailers themselves, and the stories they have to tell. It's been an amazing effort, and it's been a bit of a marathon this last year, definitely.
Yeah. For anybody who doesn't know, we met Sarah midstream in the project, and the goal was 200 videos, and I think there were 150 left when we met. And so we together produced 150 almost videos in 10 months, which was a feat of strength. But what made it even more exciting is that we then had to come up with a marketing campaign to get those videos out, to drive website traffic, and just to get the Illinois populace at large aware of the campaign. Prior to meeting with us or when the project originated, what were your goals? And do you feel like you met your goals? Where are you now in assessing last year's efforts?
Our goal was to ensure we were meeting independent retailers and entrepreneurs seeking to be retailers where they were, and if they're and trying to hear their stories, tell their stories, make people aware of the services and offerings they were providing. We also really wanted to show the breadth and depth of what retail is in Illinois. For many people, you say retail and they automatically think a boutique or a thrift store or something like that. But what we've shown in this project is retail really is so much more than that singular thing. We have featured you name it, and we have found the business that I mean, we take a very broad definition of what retail is, and we show that in this project. And so, um, we definitely achieved those goals of highlighting the different types of retail and educating people about what retail is in their community, showing what retail looks like in Chicago versus East St. Louis or Southern Illinois versus Northern Illinois. Galena is a whole population in and of itself, and so it was really fun to be able to meet all these different retailers. Different themes popped up as we went through, but just researching and finding the retailers was really a feat in and of itself and really fun.
Something I know about you that I know to be true is that you are a storyteller at heart. You studied writing.
Mhm.
You come from a university background. And so I know that story is maybe at the heart of everything that you do. Now that we're done with the first big push of videos, do you feel storytelling and video was the right approach?
1000%. This was the right approach. We live in such a visual world today, and um that's not to say that, the writing or you can't tell a story with just words, but to be able to see the people that are managing these stores, to be able to hear their stories from them, from in their own voices, to be able to see the stores themselves, it is a visual story to be told, and it really needed to be visual. We were really thrilled that we chose this path. When we first started, we were sort of scratching our heads thinking, "How do we do this?" We even we kinda tossed around ideas like, "Maybe we should buy a camera and figure this out," and then we quickly said, "No. We need to find people who know how to do this for a living, who have mastered that skill, and then, who get that we're trying to tell stories with this and market them." So that's what we did, and I'm so glad we chose a visual path to do that. It's absolutely a video story to be told.
Are there any memorable experiences from the shoot? Anything that jumps out at you as being particularly interesting from capturing all these stories?
Oh my gosh, I was thinking about that, and I've actually started a list for myself of all the different things that have stood out to me, because, we've interviewed, in totality with the project over 200 retailers, and I'm just looking at I wrote a list for this because there's just so many that stick out. I have to say, from a history perspective, there are people like Robinson's Ribs and MCM Fine Framing and Pars Rugs and Oscar Asbarian Rugs. The history of these businesses that have been generational, it
Yeah.
really stood out for some of them. Others are really innovative, like Embers and Apothecary Candle Studio, Junior Chef's Kitchen Place, Luft Balloons, Higgins Glass Studio. All these places are really doing something different in their stores. It's not your typical, retail experience. There are ones that stood out to me because of their passion. Their real passion for what they do. I have to mention Carnivore in Oak Park. They were amazing. If you want to know a retailer who knows about meat, go to Carnivore because they really know about it. And then also people like OPC Kicks that are doing really cool things with tennis shoes and, things you wouldn't think that could be a store. Like Cuddle Bunny, this place where you can go and snuggle with rabbits. And I've met some pretty unique people, like Jeopardy champions that own a yarn shop.
I feel like the Jeopardy champion that opens a yarn shop, there's nothing more exemplary of a passion project,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
You win money and you decide to open up a yarn shop. Like you have to just be in love with knitting and all yarn.
Right, exactly, exactly. I
Yeah.
mean, I just
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
just the list goes on and on. It's just, really cool people, really neat stores. Just I feel blessed that I now have a list of 200 different stores, and honestly, everybody has that list because we've created a directory on our website that literally lists all the stores, categorizes it by different categories, so you can do the same shopping that we've done for the last year and a half. So,
Great. Why is it so important to support retailers today?
well, retailers are often overlooked population. People just they don't really understand the importance that retail plays in our state. As I mentioned with that research, it kind of bubbled up that largest employer there is. A lot of people have retail as their very first job and then may not really realize that this is not just a viable career path, but a significant career in Illinois. It's really important to support your local retailers because they've been preparing for you, all year long, especially now. They've been preparing for you all year long. They're counting on you to shop local. They're the resources in our communities that we really shouldn't be taking for granted. And we have to support local retailers as much as we shop online or things like that. We really need to support local retailers so that they can continue being there for us as we have all those special moments in our lives.
If someone wanted to join IRMA, what should they do?
Well, if you want to join IRMA, all you have to do is go to the IRMA.org website, and there's a button on the right hand corner that says Join IRMA. And you just click on that and fill out a form. It's really that simple.
And why would you encourage that?
If you're a retailer, I especially encourage it to stay connected with all the proposed bills and laws that are already in effect that impact retail. We tell our members what's going on. We tell them what's happening before it happens. We give our opinion, Irma's opinion about is this a good thing for retail? Is it not a good thing? Here's why. We also ask for their input so that we can speak with one voice about retail from the retailers themselves. So we ask people's opinions about what do you think about this? How would this impact you? That kind of thing. So you really get connected in a way as an IRMA member that you really can't be in any other way. It's a great resource. And if you need assistance, it's a great resource to have. If you're a retailer, you just call IRMA and say, here's what I'm dealing with. Do you have any suggestions? Can you help me? And we'll do our best.
Going back to this project, can you tell us a little bit about what it was like working with my team, with the Bottle Rocket Media team? And perhaps what pain points you had that were taken care of with Bottle Rocket Media?
Well, I mean, it's been great working with Bottle Rocket. From the very beginning, we seemed to speak each other's language. It was great. We really appreciate both the camera work, the video editing work, as well as all of the marketing resources that you have. That was really the special sauce that we were really looking for. And as much as I'm a storyteller, I'm also very much a data person, believe it or not. And for us, all the data has been and the reporting on all the marketing efforts and the advertising has been very, very helpful. And because it's wonderful to do any project and you spend the dollars and you put your work out there, but if you don't really understand the impact it's having to the degree that you've been supplying it, it's been anyway, it's been very helpful, very useful for us. So
Yeah, I mean, that was a big part of the excitement for us, right? We service a lot of marketing clients and we service a lot of video clients, and we don't often um, get to dive deep on both sides of the room at the same time. Like they always overlap and they always inform one another. But this was exciting because the video portion of the team was like, wait, we get to do 100 shoots in 10 months? Oh my, this is amazing. We're going to be so good at this. We're going to learn that. We're going to try this. We're going to experiment here and, get creative. But the marketing side of the room was like, it, the whole thing for us was just a data collection assignment,
Right.
right? Because we've done projects like this, just not in this short time. So the amount of time that we had to gather the data and react to it and assess what to do next, like, that's what was so unique. I will get beat up if I don't mention that the metrics were off the chart. I'm not a metrics guy, so I can't say what the millions of views, et cetera, were, but it was really an outrageous number of number of views, just because we constantly assess the data and repositioned our videos and our blogs to according to what it was.
Right. We had benchmark data, we captured it, and then we reacted to what's working, what's not working. Then we shifted, we pivoted based on that data and information. To me, that's just working very smart, right? That's not working
Right.
harder, it's working smarter. And, it's educating us at IRMA, like, what are retailers looking for out there? What are they searching for? How can we be of service to them? What can we do? So it's still going on. Obviously, we're still advertising. We're still putting these videos out there, and we're still capturing the data. So yeah, I'm really happy with the work and the results of the work. As you said, millions and millions and millions of views. So that's what one of our goals was initially, was just awareness. And now we've kind of shifted to phase two, where we're going to be working more on calls to action.
Great. Yes, we're looking forward to that. Okay, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Before we go, one more time, give us all the information on how somebody who's interested in learning more about IRMA and the We Are Retail campaign, where can they go?
If you want to know more about the We Are Retail campaign, I would go to weareillinoisretail.com. You can also find out more information about IRMA itself at irma.org. And as I mentioned, there's that little button on the right that says Join IRMA. You can do that, or you can reach out to any one of us, myself included. Our information is on that website.
Great. Sarah Shapanis, Executive Director of the Illinois Retail Merchant Association Foundation. Thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you. It was great to be here.